actually dated back to 2023. It started as a bill filed back then. Lawmakers said they were hearing from teachers that cell phones were a main problem in schools, and it contributed to a lot of behavior issues. Now, that bill never made it out of committee by the end of that year. When lawmakers can't pass an actual bill, they often make that legislation into a budget proviso. That's a temporary one-year law that's added into the state budget. So when lawmakers were finalizing the 2024-2025 state budget, they added a proviso banning cell phones in schools. Now, that was passed in 2024 and went into effect in July, but it was still a long road for the policy to actually be implemented. The proviso required the State Board of Education actually write that policy. So the board spent the next several months hearing inputs from teachers and districts. I covered each of those meetings throughout the fall of 2024, and each time we would go and the board would say the policy wasn't quite ready yet. Now, I spoke to some parents about how they felt about that policy going into effect back then.
If I need to get in touch with them, I can call the office or I can go by that school.
Schools have phones. You know, we came up, we always had an emergency. We'd go to the office and make a phone call to our parents. So they really don't need cell phones.
Now, finally, that policy was finalized in September of last year, requiring districts ban phones from the start to the end of the school day. And it fully went into effect at the start of this year. So school boards were required to put this policy into their code of conduct by January. Now, this has obviously been a very big issue going forward over the last year. Now, the proviso only lasts 1 year, so it had to be renewed each year in the state budget to remain in effect. And it was renewed in this year's budget that went into effect in July. But that means it's not permanent, and if budget writers want to take it out in the coming years, they can. But another bill was actually filed this year to make that policy law. It never made it out of committee. So it's been a very big issue over the last couple years, and there's obviously still a lot that can change going forward.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of teachers that I've already spoke to right now are saying, hey, well, we've kind of already been implementing this, or they have like little cubbies, especially for high schoolers. I have a little cubby for them to put it in there at the start of the school day or even as they're switching classes. So I think it's going to be interesting to see as how far this is going to go.
Right, and a lot of what the state board wrote left it up to the teachers and to the districts to kind of figure out how they want to implement it and what works best to them, because ultimately this was something that came from teachers. As they said, we need this to address behavior, to address our working conditions. So there's been left a lot of, I guess, gray room for kind of what the teachers can do there. So certainly a lot that can kind of change with implementation moving forward.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a gray area. This is just a little one-part situation that honestly parents, students, and teachers are going to have to pretty much start implementing now in the school year. So Josie, thank you so much. We appreciate you. All right, everybody.